Assalamu alaikum, dear students. Most welcome to the class of business law. Dear students, today is our seventh lecture of business law, and in the previous lectures, we studied the different concepts such as capacity of parties, the consideration of the contract, other essential elements of a contract. Most recently, in the lecture 6, we studied the performance of contract. Today, we will discuss the assignment and discharge of contract. Today, we have only two main objectives. The first objective of today's lecture is assignment of contract, and the second is a discharge of a contract. Let me start with the very first topic, that is assignment of contract. Dear students, the term assignment means transfer. Transfer means to transfer the rights and liabilities under a contract by a party to another person. For example, A and B made a contract. A promised to B that I will pay you $10,000. Let's say 31st of December. On the 31st of December, A says to C that take this money and deliver to the B. So A assigned his performance to C and C delivered the money to B. So this is called the assignment of a contract. Assignment means transfer of obligations and liabilities under a contract by a party to another person. It means substitute. I promised with someone, I have made any agreement with any person. On the time of performance, I will not perform. Instead of me, someone else perform my liabilities and my rights. So this is called the assignment. I assign my performance to someone another. So this is called the assignment. So it's legal in any contract. Any party to a contract can assign his performance to another person, can assign his rights to another person, his liabilities to another person. So this is called the assignment of a contract. One party or both of the parties can assign their performance, their liabilities, their rights to another person. Both of the parties, one of the party and both of the parties can assign their performances, their rights and their liabilities. So this is called assignment of a contract. In case of assignment, the original party or parties to the contract drop out and the other take his or their places. Original parties drop out their liabilities and their obligations and their rights. Some another person, any other person take place of the original parties. Doesn't matter, one of the party drop out his assignment, drop out his liabilities or drop out his rights, or both of the parties drop out their liabilities and rights. So this is called the assignment. In case of the contractual rights or obligations involve personal skills or ability, then such rights or obligations cannot be assigned. If you remember, in the performance of the contract, we also studied that if the performance is of personal nature, if the performance is of personal nature, then the performance must be performed by the original party. By the original party. The same concept is in assignment. If the case or contractual right or contractual obligation involve personal skills or personal liabilities, then personal abilities, then such rights or obligations cannot be assigned to anyone. For example, I'm a carpenter. My brother is not carpenter. He's an engineer. So I cannot assign my performance to my brother or my any other agent. If I'm lecturer, I can teach only business law. Then I cannot assign my business law subject to my brother because he's engineer or he's doctor. So doctor cannot teach the assignment of contract. So this is a personal nature. This is a personal skill or personal ability. It's my own ability that I can teach only business law. So if the contractual obligation or the contractual right is of personal nature, of a personal skill or of personal ability, then I cannot assign, any party of the contract cannot assign his obligation, his right, his liability to any other person. So this was the assignment of contracts. Now let me explain the discharge of a contract. Discharge, by the name discharge. Discharge means becoming out from the contract. Termination of the contract. Discharge means termination of the contract. The contract will terminate. Contract will become into end. This is called the discharge of contract. Discharge of a contract suggests termination of contractual obligation. The obligations become end. The obligations become terminated. It's called discharge of contract. Discharge of contract is has more types. Discharge of contract has more types. The first type of discharge is discharge by performance. Performance of a contract is the principal and most usual mode of discharge of a contract. Performance may be actual performance and or attempted performance or tender. Actual performance and the attempted or performance or a tender. Actual performance, it means the parties to contract have performed their respective promises under the contract. This is called actual performance. Means that both of the parties performed their obligations, performed their liabilities, performed their rights in the contract. So as they perform their rights, as they perform their obligations, contract becomes into it. And contract will be discharged. Because both of the parties have completed their rights, have completed their obligations, have completed their liabilities. So it's common sense. Definitely the contract becomes into end because both of the parties completed their performances. Second discharge by performance is the attempt performance or tender. It means the promisor has made an offer of the performance of promise, but it has not been accepted by the promisee. It is not same like discharge, but it is attemption to discharge. Attempts to discharge means that offeree or offerer or promisor offered to perform the performance or liabilities of the contract to the offeree or to the promisee, but promisee has not been accepted the performance of the contract. So this is only attemptation of the performance or tender to performance, or tender to contract. So this is also a kind of discharge, but it is not complete discharge. It is only attempt to discharge, attempt to performance. It is only proposal to the offeree, only proposal from offerer to offeree that let's perform the performance of the contract. But acceptor or offeree or promisee has been not accepted yet. So this is called attempt, performance, or tender. Clear? Next, discharge by mutual consent. Discharge by mutual consent of the parties. Discharge by mutual consent agreement in any of the following. All the mutual consent discharges we will discuss here. The very first mutual consent discharge is the novation. Novation implies the substitution of a new contract for the original one. Substitution for the original one. It means that the original contract has been finished. The new contract is formed instead of the original contract, in the place of original contract. It is called novation. The name novation also denotes that novation means bringing something new instead of old. It's substitute. For example, you replace your Dell laptop with HP laptop. So now HP laptop take place of the Dell laptop. So this is a substitution. You replaced your iPhone X mobile with iPhone X Max. So you substituted your iPhone X mobile with iPhone X Max. So this is substitution. Substitution is a new contract for the original contract. You formed new contract for the original contract. Example: A owed rupees 100 to B. Under the contract, B owed rupees 100 to C. It was agreed among A, B and C that A would pay rupees 100 to C. Simply, I will explain it in Pashto. Ali सल रुपए दे बातूर न कर्ज वाखिस्त. बातूर सल रुपए दे चमन न कर्ज वाखिस्त. د علی او د باتور او د چمن ترمنځ قرارداد شو چې علی به سل روپۍ چمن ته ورکوي. بی له منځه ووت. ګوره اوریجنل قرارداد چې ا او بی ترمنځ شو او ختم شو. د ا او سی ترمنځ نیو قرارداد راغی, نیو کنټراکټ راغی. This new contract is the substitute for the old one, for the original one. So this is called the novation. Next is recession. Recession means cancellation of a contract by one party or by both of the parties. By one party or by both parties, but recession also leads the contract into discharge, into end. Recession refers to cancellation of the contract by one party or by both of the parties. It may take place with the mutual consent of the parties. Both of the parties agreed to cancel the contract. So this is called recession. The contract is resigned. One party may resign the contract if a breach of contract by the other party. If the other party breached the terms and conditions of the contract, then next party, the other party will resign the contract. He will breach the contract, he will cancel the contract. If one of the parties goes wrong, one of the parties breached the contract, then the another party will rescind the contract, will cancel the contract. In Pashto, I will say, dwara partiyane yau party pake करारदाद मातई बल पार्टी जिगी की करारदाद बिल्कुल कैंसिल है. It's called recession. The party resigned the contract must restore the benefit received from the other party. उसको पार्टी करारदाद रिसाइन कई रिसेशन पके रावली आगा बायद बेनिफिटेड जका ब्रीच वाबल करे करारदाद वाबल मात करे दे सिर्फ कैंसिल का करारदाद आगा मात करे दे सिर्फ कैंसिल ही दे तब बेनिफिट वर्क चाचे करारदाद मात करे चाचे टर्म्स एंड कंडीशंस पे क्यों रन करी चाचे सोच गलत लारे बंद रवान शो आगा बदे बल तच सोच रिसेशन रावली सोच रिसाइन कई कॉन्ट्रैक्ट आगे तब बेनिफिट वर्क tawan working simply we can say he will fulfill the losses of the resigned party. Clear? No partial recession. The parties may resign the entire contract. It means that any party who is going to resign the contract, he cannot make any partial recession. He will resign the entire contract. The recession of the contract in part is not possible. Partly recession is not possible for the contract. The recession should also be communicated to the both parties. Clear? Recession, when any party is going to resign the contract, he must communicate, he should communicate the recession of the contract to the another party. So this was recession. The next topic is alteration. The meaning of alteration. You better know the meaning of alteration. Alteration means change. So as if there is change in the contract, so it's common sense, definitely the contract leads to be discharged. It refers to a change in one or more of the terms of a contract with the consent of all the contracting parties. If the both parties agreed in the contract that we are going to change some terms or conditions of the contract by the mutual consent of all the parties, so it is called alteration. It's alteration, simple. Simply, for example, Ali and Ahmed agreed that Ali offered to Ahmed that we will transfer 100 mobiles from Jalalabad to Kabul at the end of this month, means the end of May or at the end of June. But after 15 or 10 days, both parties agreed that we will not transfer 100 mobiles from Jalalabad to Kabul at the end of this month, the end of June. We will transfer at the end of July. It means they postponed the delivery of 100 mobiles from Jalalabad to Kabul for 1 month. So this is changes in the condition, changes in the terms of the contract by the mutual consent. I am going to explain in Pashto. अहमद और अली द्वारो करारदाद उकड़ो कि मंग बसल मोबाइल द जलालाबाद न काबुल तक ट्रांसफर को डिलीवर को खुद दगा ये मैच थे दरवाने मैच थे पो एंड की मतलब द जून पो आखिर की आखिरी दो रस बांधे सल्लस रज़े चतेरे शुए द्वारो पो मशहूरे बांधे यो मैच द मोबाइल डिलीवरी लेट का द जुलाई मैच पो एंड के दो द्वारो तर मंस करारदाद शु से द्वारो पो मंग शको the July match the आखिर के बली को. Now this is type of alteration. They change the terms of the contract. So this changes in the terms of the contract leads the contract into discharge. Although the changes of terms were by the mutual consent, but it is change of the terms and condition, so this changes leads the contract into end. Clear? It discharges the old contract. The next topic is remission. Remission means the discount, means the acceptance by the promisee of a lesser sum than what was contracted for. Remission means discount. Remit or dispense with it wholly or in part. Either it can be wholly discounted or in part discounted. Extend the time of performance, or the time of performance is extended, or accept any other satisfaction instead of performance. Bill satisfaction were the work. The performance was a bill satisfaction. Example, A owes B rupees 5,000, A pays rupees 2,000 to B, and B accepts the amount in satisfaction of the whole debt. The whole debt is discharged. In Pashto, Ali 15,000 रुपये दे बातूर न वाखसी बे अली 2,000 रुपये बातूर तो वारकड़ बेर्थ अब बातूर कबूल अकड़ा छे जमा दे 15,000 रुपये मुकाबला के दा 2,000 बस्ती whole debt छेशु discharge. The whole debt is discharged. This is called discount. There was 3,000 rupees discount in the 5,000 rupees. So this will be discounted. So it is called remission. And remission may be by whole or by part. Batur can discount whole sum of the money to the Ali. Clear? Next is discharge by impossibility of performance. Impossibility of performance. Impossibility of performance means that sometimes after a contract has been established, after a contract has been made, something might occur, though not at the fault of either parties, which can render the contract impossible to perform. And this impossibility of performance is of two types: the initial impossibility or pre-contractual impossibility, and the supervening impossibility or post-contractual impossibility. The initial impossibility or the pre-contractual impossibility means that the impossibility exists when the contract is met, in the time contract is met. The impossibility of performance was existence when the contract is met, on the time the contract is met. Impossibility manada the performance, the liability, the obligation perform kawalenish both of the parties, dwara parties daga qarardat sart nishi rasawal simple qabiliyat the sart rasawal nalari. And the impossibility, the initial impossibility means chakalat qarardat ke the contract the impossibility मौजूदियत द करारदाद द कौल पे वक्त की मौजूद हो, यानी अमागा वक्त की करारदाद इम्पॉसिबल हो, कम वक्त की चिता करारदाद कौल हो अमागा वक्त की दगा करारदाद इम्पॉसिबल हो च परफॉर्मेंस या सरतो रसी. It is called initial impossibility or pre-contractual impossibility. Initial impossibility is of two types: known impossibility and unknown impossibility. If any contract, remember one thing, if any contract that exists in the initial impossibility, the contract is void ab initio. If you remember, we talked about the contract which is void ab initio. Void ab initio means the contract is ceased from the start, from the beginning. यानी कल start की impossibility मौजूद हुई तक करारदाद दे अवल ना खराब दे, from the start तक करारदाद खराब दे, from the beginning तक करारदाद खराब दे, the बुनियाद खराब दे करारदाद. So it leads to void ab initio. The contract leads to void ab initio. Clear? The initial impossibility is of two types: Non-impossibility and unknown impossibility. Non-impossibility means that both of the parties or one of the party know that the contract which we are going to enter is will be impossible to perform. It is called non-impossibility. کله چې دوی قرارداد کولو هغه وخت کې دوی پوهېدل چې یو پارټي یا دواړه پارټیانې په دې پوهېدل چې دغه قرارداد سر ته نه رسېږي. So it is quite a big issue. For example, A and B agreed. A او B علي او باتور قرارداد وکړو چې مړ سړی ژوندی کوي. نو تاسو خپل کامن سنس خبره ده چې دواړه کسان یو مړ سړی نشي ژوندی کولی. From the start they know that the contract is impossible. موږ نشو ژوندی کولی. دا یو سخت کار دا د الله پاک کار دی. انسان بل انسان نشي ژوندی کولی. So the contract is wide an issue. Clear? The second is unknown impossibility. Both of the parties in the contract do not know that the contract is impossible to perform. دواړه پارټیانې نه پوهېږي چې impossibility موجود ده. For example, Ali and Batur agreed to transfer the goods from Karachi to Kabul by ship. So you better know that there is no ship between the Karachi and Kabul. There is no ship. So but they don't know that by ship they cannot transfer, they cannot deliver the products or goods from Karachi to Kabul. So this is unknown impossibility. Or unknown impossibility, you can see the border. If they don't know that the border has been closed, Pakistan and Afghanistan border has been closed, but they don't know. They agreed to bring products from Peshawar to Kabul, but when they reach to the border is closed. So it is impossible to perform the contract. So it is called unknown impossibility. The next type of discharge by impossibility is supervening impossibility or post-contractual impossibility. Supervening impossibility means that when the contract is made after the formation of contract, the impossibility exists. For example, so it is not the same like initial impossibility. It is made at the time of making of contract. It was possible to perform the contract, but after the formation of contract, the impossibility became. So this impossibility is called supervening impossibility or post-contractual impossibility. For example, I want to bring some wheat from Tajikistan or flour from Tajikistan. When I made contract with Tajikistanians to bring flour from the Tajikistan, after 2 or 3 days of formation of contract, the government of Afghanistan announces that no local person can transfer flour from Tajikistan to Afghanistan. So this becomes impossible. The performance of contract becomes impossible and it leads to discharge the contract. Clear? This is the supervening impossibility is not existence in the time of contract formation. It will exist after the formation of contract. Clear? Next is the discharge of a contract by lapse of time. It's simple. Every contract and promise under the contract should be performed within a time limit. Contract is discharged if it is not performed or enforced within a specified period called as the period of limitation. So every contract has a time limit. If the contract is not performed in this time limit, it will be discharged. It will become to end. The contract will become end. So it is contract is discharged. So this is simple, very simple. Everyone knows that. Everyone know that the contract will be discharged by lapse of time. Every contract has a time limit, and both of the parties are bound to perform their performance, their liabilities, their obligations in time limit. If the time outs, then the contract becomes discharged. Clear? Next is discharge of a contract by operation of law. Simple. Law or government or court orders to discharge the contract. In the following circumstances, the contract is discharged by the operation of law. Law operates in the contract and law orders to become the contract into int. Discharge the contract. Law announces, law orders to the both parties that discharge the contract. When unauthorized material alteration of written documents. For example, one of the parties changes the price of the goods, or the time of the contract, or the quantity of the goods in the, or quantity of the objects in the contract. So this is unauthorized material alteration of the written document. So when this operation exists, then law orders to the both of parties that discharge the contract. When death, when one of the party comes to becomes dead, so this, the one party died, another party is ordered to discharge the contract. And the third is insolvency. Insolvency is a type of bankruptcy. One of the parties or both of the parties, when become to insolvent in the contract, then law orders to discharge the contract. So this is very easy. Unauthorization material alteration first. By this, the law orders to discharge the contract. By the death of one or both parties, law orders to discharge the contract. And insolvency, by the insolvency of one or both parties, the law again orders to discharge the contract. Clear? This was your today's lecture, dear students. I hope you got the information, the bulk information about the discharge of the contract and assignment of the contract. So have a nice time, have a good time. Thank you so much. Thank you very much.